Well, hello there. We are here live talking about how to stop sugar cravings. We're going to start the conversation today. And because listen, I have, September 30th as of the date of this video.
I think so.
I've declared that October
that's right.
is Sugar Freedom Month.
Yes.
Sugar is Freedom Month.
I have the power to do that. A whole month.
We even need a ribbon. So let's come up with a ribbon, y'all.
Ooh.
So the reason why, and listen, I did not say sugar-free month.
No.
There is a big difference between sugar freedom and sugar free. I'm not asking you to go sugar free.
No.
I'm asking you that if you need freedom from sugar, this is your month. And we're starting the conversation today. And we're going to spend several weeks, I think the next 4 weeks, working through how to break free from sugar. So let's dive in, because so many y'all might be here thinking that it is impossible to break free from sugar or to conquer cravings, and where you're in control instead of your cravings being in control of you. So you might believe that that's the case.
Right.
But it's simply not. And if you continue to hold on to the lie that you can't break free.
Yes, it's definitely a lie.
Then you have the potential of never getting healthy, of never reaching your goals, and never living your life abundantly.
So many things.
So many things. And so you are in the right place. If this is you, if you struggle with sugar cravings, then this is what we are going to have to do. And so what I want to do is, let's first talk about the realities of sugar, because I don't think people really understand how much sugar they're consuming.
No.
Because you have cravings, but you don't really know, like, well, how much sugar am I actually consuming? And when people are asked how much sugar they're consuming, they usually dramatically underestimate how much they're consuming.
Yes.
And so what's the reality? The reality is that let me pull it up here, because I have all of the stats here that I want to share with you. Is that we are consuming, first of all, we should not be consuming more than 25 grams of sugar per day, according to the American Heart Association, as well as the World Health Organization. No more than 25 grams of sugar per day.
Per day?
Yes, no more than.
Meal.
Not per meal.
Per day.
Not per snack.
Per snack.
Per day, okay? So the reality is that adults are consuming 88 grams of sugar per day. So instead of consuming no more than 25, average is 88. Now that's the average. A lot of people are consuming a lot more than that.
Back in the day, I probably consumed that much just in my coffee.
Just in breakfast, in coffee. Yeah, not even breakfast.
Right now,
breakfast was a whole nother 25 grams.
Yeah.
By the time you do cereal and milk, you've hit your max.
Yeah.
And what's sad is our kids are eating 128 grams of sugar per day. Got to be honest, if you have kids like us, it is so hard. Our kids, they're wired to want sugar all day long. Like, if we were just to give them free reins and have all sorts of food in the house that's not serving them, they would be eating sugar all day long. Their friends eat sugar.
Well, and then they see what their friends are eating, and we've done, I think, a pretty good job of educating our kids on what the sugar does, but they still want it. They still want it. I mean, they still see it, and that looks so much better than the lunches we provide them. Yes.
But we go to the grocery store, we leave the kids at home when we go to the grocery store.
There's no way.
Because what happens is if we go through the grocery store with them, all the things end up in our cart. They want the cereals and they want the hot chocolate.
It's like landmines all over the place.
Yeah, and they want the cookies.
Well, when you walk through a grocery store, they used to say, well, the little trick was, let's just stay around the perimeter of the store so that, you hit the produce section, the meat section, and the dairy section, and then you kind of come back to the checkout. But no. They know that that's what some people, not very many, but some people might be trying to do.
Yes.
And guess what? They stuck it everywhere.
They do.
Every corner.
You turn a corner,
there's a kiosk of something, Doritos.
There's the donuts in your face. Yes.
Or Coke or Pepsi or everything. It's everywhere.
It is everywhere. And that's the thing, is that 74% of the foods that are processed foods in our stores are filled with sugar, because sugar comes in 200 sneaky names.
Yeah.
The food industry knows that we're looking for the word sugar, or maybe even high fructose corn syrup.
They're not going to put it like that.
There's 200 sneaky names of sugar, and we've got to become aware of what we're consuming. And so that nutrition label is going to come really important. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So let me just do some math. Okay. If we're consuming 88 grams of sugar per day, let's talk about how much that ends up being. It ends up being 3 pounds of sugar every single week. 3 pounds of sugar.
3
So think
pounds.
about a 3-pound sugar bag every single week is coursing through our veins. And you need to understand that our ancestors 100, 200 years
Right.
ago were only consuming 4 to 6 pounds per year. So what we're consuming in a week, they would consume in a year. And so,
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, because they didn't have
It wasn't
the 900 million products that we have in our grocery stores.
No,
now.
they didn't. They
just didn't have that. They didn't have that option. They would have eaten it if they could. They just didn't have it. They didn't have that option.
Let's do more math. Our lifetime, that means that it's 3,500 pounds of sugar. So like, think dump truck.
Right.
Think dump truck size of amount of sugar that comes coursing through our veins in our lifetime. And listen, this is creating preventable diseases in our life. So diseases that you might be struggling with, health concerns, ailments, chronic conditions that you're struggling with. Sugar is directly linked to preventable diseases like obesity, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, inflammatory and autoimmune diseases, chronic pain, dementia, strokes, depression, and more. Listen, you might be thinking you don't eat a lot of sugar, but the realities are if you are struggling with any of these things that I mentioned, you have brain fog, low energy, and you just are chronically you
can probably trace it back to some form of sugar intake.
Right. And so we must begin to break free from this because this is not abundant living. Abundant living is being full of energy, being full of life and vitality, being able to have clear thinking and low to no pain so that you can go and do and be all that God's called you to. This is why we must break free from sugar. So October is Sugar Freedom Month. It's Sugar Freedom Month because we've got to break free. Again, not sugar free. We're not trying to go do not say, oh, Katrina, October 1st, I'm not going to eat any sugar. No, that's not how we do it. We got to do it in the right way. Right. And so Chris and I are going to be here all month long with training and coaching and answering your questions. And I'm super excited to announce that we have just launched our Conquer Your Cravings live virtual event that is starting on October 14th. Mark your calendar, circle it, October 14th. We are going to be doing extensive training and coaching and answering all of your questions to help you truly conquer your cravings. And so I want you to write this down. We don't have it on the screen yet, but and we're going to put it in the link in the post, but it's healthyfreelife.com/cravings. healthyfreelife.com/cravings. And that will get you all registered for our 2 weeks where we're going to spend 2 weeks conquering those cravings in a live virtual event experience. And so there's, lots of teaching and training coming your way. And so that's where the bulk of the teaching is going to be, but we're actually going to be here every Thursday throughout the month of October, guiding and directing you as well. So every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be here just giving you some bonus teachings that are going to be kind of guiding and supporting you. So our purpose here today was really to begin to open your eyes and your mind as to what's going on. Because here's the thing, is that a calorie is not a calorie. Mm-mm. And it's a lie that most people think is that calories are calories, so it doesn't really matter.
That was even marketing. I mean, that was part of Coke's campaign, where calorie is just a calorie, and Coke can be a part of a healthy lifestyle.
And it cannot. And so I really would love for you to help us understand, help those that are listening and watching understand when that calorie is not a calorie. Right. So sugar calorie compared to a protein calorie compared to a fat calorie.
Right.
Are processed very differently in our body. So what happens when we consume sugar in one of its various forms? What happens when we consume it?
Well, when we ingest it, sugar then immediately, if it's just table sugar, gets broken up into 2 separate forms. And one is glucose and one is fructose. So you don't have to worry about that. But what happens is those 2 things then get processed differently. So the issue with the glucose, that's what creates blood sugar. So that immediately goes right into your bloodstream. And the problem with that is it's toxic. Like, you can't have high levels of blood sugar. Like, when I would treat patients, as a therapist, physical therapist in home health, I had patients that their blood sugars were pushing like 400, 450, and they were having seizures and strokes, and they didn't understand why. And when I would go in their house, literally they had stacks of Dr. Peppers. I had one patient that would drink 40 Dr. Peppers a day, 40 cans of Dr. Pepper a day, like crazy. Like, so, and he was having seizures. And I mean, because what happens is your body can't process that much sugar. So what happens is, your body needs to get that sugar out of the bloodstream. So you're going to pump out insulin to help get rid of that sugar out of the bloodstream again, because if you kept it in your bloodstream, you would die. So, but the problem is you don't need it. That is actually energy. That sugar is energy. The problem is you're not doing anything to require that much sugar or that much energy. Right. You're not running, you're not doing anything. You're usually just sitting there in front of the TV or in front of your computer working. So your body, only place your body put it is it stores it into your fat cells. So because it needs to get it out of the system and that blood system, and that's what insulin does. So that's why when you're a diabetic, people will have to get insulin. And I had patients that they didn't even care what they ate. They were just like, well, I'll just take more insulin.
They didn't care what they ate because nobody educated them.
No, the doctors never told them. And they literally thought, I had multiple conversations. They literally thought that if they just took enough insulin, that the sugar would just disappear.
It just magically
goes away.
Right.
Like it's like, well, I'm not sure if that's really how it works, but nobody told them. Nobody explained it to them.
Because listen, we're both in the healthcare industry. Yes. I was a registered nurse, you a physical therapist. My job as a registered nurse was never to help someone reverse or prevent disease. It was always to help them manage their disease. And I would teach them how to use their insulin, but never really, I wasn't educated on how to educate them about
and most people didn't even know how to use their insulin. Like,
no, it's just people,
they had no idea what they were even doing with it. There was never, that was the thing that would just get to me so much, that, these great people that were on 30 medications a day, and it was just, we went in the house just like you as nurses would just go and just make sure you're taking the meds properly.
Right.
Make sure we've got them on your list and make sure you're taking them. Let's not have anything to do with trying to get you off of any of them.
But here's the thing. So often we would go into those people's homes, right? And when you started trying to help them connect the dots, the thing is that 10 times out of 10, when you would sit there and say, okay, these foods that you're eating, this white bread, the cookies, the moon pies, the soda that you're drinking, these things are what are contributing to your poor health and how you're feeling and needing to be on these medications.
Because we're actually physically in their house. The doctor's not in their house. The doctor doesn't really know what they're doing. Like, they could tell the doctor something of how they're eating. Oh, I've, cleaned up my diet. But then when you physically are in their house and you're standing there looking at their kitchen counter and it's just covered with just the most unhealthy food that you can possibly imagine. It's like, there's no wonder why they're having all these physical issues that could have been avoided. But
the lie that they believe.
Yes.
They believe a lie, and you might be believing these lies too, which is 10 times out of 10, they would say one of these two things. They would say, just don't take away from me the one thing that still brings me happiness, right?
Yeah.
Don't take the one thing that brings me happiness.
Yes.
Or they would say, I'm going to die anyways. I might as well enjoy it.
Myself. Right.
But listen, it's not living. It's
we're not living longer.
It's just not
we're just
dying.
We're just not living longer nowadays. We're just dying longer.
This is if you are living in a diseased, burdened state, believing that sugar is something that brings joy and happiness, then that is not living. That is just not dying. That is not abundant living. We've got to realize and wake up, because where did we get the notion that food or sugar brings joy or comfort? That is a place that only God is meant to house in our life.
Hijacked.
It's been hijacked. It's a lie that we have begun to believe, and we've got to begin to see it for what it really is a substance that is just as addictive as cocaine.
Well, why would the food industry and the processed food industry put it in everything? because they want you to buy more of it.
Right.
So they're not
Right.
going to put it in. They're not putting it in there just for the fun of it. They're putting it in because they know that it'll make you want to eat more of it.
Right. Absolutely. So listen, it's time for us to really see sugar for what it really is. I did a complete full episode on the Healthy Free Life Show podcast. So if you would love to dive deeper into this conversation, if you want to go to healthyfreelife.com/27, that will take you to the episode on sugar part 1. So how to stop sugar cravings part 1. So we're going to start that conversation. Chris and I are going to be doing an episode next week on part 2. So that's definitely coming as well. But I have 2 other homework things that I want you to do. Is again, we're just starting the conversation. You need to bring some awareness to what you are doing. And so I want you this week, your homework assignment this week is I want you to begin to look at the food labels that of the foods that you are consuming. So if you're eating processed foods, I want you to turn those labels over. I want you to look at how much of a serving are you actually consuming, and then compare it to the serving size on the nutrition label, and then look down and then calculate how much sugar you're consuming. So if you're eating a box of Wheat Thins, which have a lot of sugar in them, by the way, if you're eating a box of Wheat Thins and you have 16 of those crackers, well, then do some calculations to work out.
Usually the serving size
might
is
be
a
like
lot
10,
smaller
right?
than what a typical person would be.
So definitely look at that and then do some calculations. And I want you to start calculating how much sugar you are consuming. And then I want you to tally it up. So a Post-it note or maybe notes on your phone or something like that, someplace, just calculate how much sugar you're consuming. So one of our Healthy for Life Academy students, Patricia, she did this. I gave her that assignment as part of our program to go ahead and start calculating. She was shocked to find out that she was consuming 241 grams of sugar per day. 241 grams of sugar. And she wondered why she was so burdened with all of these physical ailments and diseases that she struggled with. So she got to work and she was able to get it down to 50, which is amazing. Which is like 50 is not a lot. Yeah, that is life-changing. Not a lot. But now she's working to get it down to that 25 level. And I mean, what a dramatic difference in life if we do that. Right. And people don't realize.
Well, and we're walking, examples of this. I mean, we were right there too.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the thing.
absolutely.
It's like, we're not trying to say that we've never done this. We spent years.
Before we even took a first bite of food, we probably consumed 3 teaspoons of sugar in every cup of coffee.
Yes.
And we consumed probably 3 cups of coffee in the morning.
Not counting if you had some later in the day.
And then we would have cereal, or we'd have, sugary bagels, and then we'd go off to, I ate sugar. I didn't know I was addicted to sugar. I didn't know I had sugar cravings. I just ate sugar all day long. Like I ate it from morning till night. And so and I wondered why at 30 I had chronic fatigue, I had allergies, asthma, acne. I had we were struggling with infertility. I also had anxiety bordering on depression. I was miserable.
Well, yeah.
And so
I was 50
sugar
to 60
was
pounds heavier.
And and we were So listen, we've got to break free, and maybe you don't even know what freedom feels like. And so this is what we've got to do. We've got to get you to a place where you experience some freedom, and then you're going to be able to then get free from sugar. And so that's going to be such a blessing to you. So homework number 1 is to start tracking your sugar intake. I'm not requiring or wanting you to start dramatically decreasing it. I'm going to give you some tools over this month that are going to help you to start to do that. We're going to start to break down the walls of cravings, okay? And so just first assignment, start calculating. The next thing I want you to do is you've got to register for our Conquer Your Cravings live virtual event that starts on October 14th. So go to healthyfreelife.com/cravings to get all signed up. And once you do that, I'll be emailing you all the details with the full calendar and all the things so that you can just know that this is going to be a month of freedom. And I can't wait. We can't wait to support you. All right. Now it's time to go do the thing. Yes. Yep. So let me know in the comments. Comment down below. Are you going to register for Conquer Your Cravings? Yes or no? Let me know. We'd love to know. All right. We'll be back here next week at the same time, same place, Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern. We'd love for you to join us, where we're going to talk about part 2 of how to stop sugar cravings. And we're diving deep into cravings, where we are going to unravel what's actually causing cravings and why it's so hard to break free. We're going to dive into that next week. Can't wait to see you there. Till next time. Bye for now.